Hello, everybody, and welcome back to We Speak Dispatch. I'm Joe, and we have Doug and Leslie, and they are at the same location if you are watching on Facebook or YouTube. Today, you'll notice the introduction. We didn't play our normal music. It's a special edition as we want to take the time to honor somebody that we lost recently that works in 911. He's hosted all of us to his agency for training purposes. He's been involved with Iowa APCO and Iowa NENA, and he recently passed away last week. His name is Mike Becker from the Scott Emergency Communications Center in Davenport, Iowa. And he was a true friend of all of ours, helping us along the way. And I'm going to throw it to Doug and Leslie since they're at the same location. Let them share a few words, and then I'll come back and share a story as well. So Doug and Leslie, whoever wants to take it, go ahead.
Well, I'll go first. And, after Mike's passing, we've had a few conversations internally about, in a profession where death sometimes is a common occurrence and it's something that we just say, oh, well, that's it, and move on. This one, I think, really hit us deeply because of the connection that we had with Mike. I met him several years ago through a conference or through a training class, and he could not have been more genuine. He was the type of person who was always giving and never taking. He wanted to make sure that his employees and everyone that he was around was comfortable and felt good and had everything that they needed. And to lose somebody that had such a presence, not only in his center, but in the 911 profession in general, is really sobering. And I think we've all had an opportunity to kind of reevaluate some priorities based on that big loss. And no doubt that Scott County is going through a huge transition, and prayers go out to them as well as to Mike's family. But it's been very impactful, and I think it's something that, of course, we don't expect, and when it does happen, it kind of takes you up short. But surround yourself with people that you care about, and just it's a reminder that every day is precious, and tomorrow's not promised.
It was just a real shock because, the guy was always there, always willing to help out, do whatever, just a great guy. And just to see this happen, I just can't imagine what's going on in his center, because like we said, we deal with this stuff all the time on 911 or on the radios or whatever. But when it impacts your home base, then it's like, oh my gosh, what do we do now? I know Mike for a while, and he was always so nice and so just, what can I do to help you? I don't remember him ever saying do this for me. It was always, what can I do for you? How can I help you? And it was just such a great guy. And I'm just so saddened by this thing, that he is such a loss to their center and to our friendship and to our world of dispatch. So I hope everybody takes a minute to kind of think about, some of the petty differences we have with each other and stuff, and think, in the bigger world, it's really not worth it. This life is too short to have that kind of stuff. And it's, my goodness, it's just I hope everybody sends their prayers and their thoughts and cards to that center. We'll put the address up, and just, express the fact that they're going through something that we all don't want to ever go through, but unfortunately we will. Yeah. And that's a sad thing out there. So just a terrible thing. I will throw one thing I just want to throw out. The service that was broadcast I saw it on Facebook, was very, very strongly emotional. And the final 1010 on the radio was just absolutely powerful to listen to. Just very powerful. I hate those things anyway. And then when you hear one that's somebody it's really just, oh my goodness. So shout out to that dispatcher who put it out.
And at our agency, Doug, a 1010 is a fight. So do you want to clarify what a 1010 is on your end?
Well, I meant 1010, our 1010 means end of shift, end of watch, whatever. So whatever your code might be, but a 1010 for me is that. So that's what I meant by that. Not fighting, well, maybe, but not fighting.
Yeah. And for me, it's the loss of not only a coworker, but a true friend. I've done a ton with him. He's helped me on a ton of conferences and training classes. And like Doug and Leslie said, he was always willing to do something for you. And he also liked a little bit of surprises. And their center that they work at has a really nice training center with cameras up above. And one day when I was there, and I might have been teaching with Doug, or I don't know, maybe it was myself, I don't remember. But Mike come up to me at the end of the presentation. He goes, I got something I want to show you. And I had no idea what he was going to show me. I thought maybe I said something that I didn't remember or went too fast, or I wasn't sure. But he took these, he went into the room and took these above camera pictures that showed the audience and me up there teaching, and my arms were spread out. And he was trying to look for the perfect picture, not for himself, but for me.
Wow, that's nice.
And that's the type of stuff that Mike did. Whenever you went there to his agency, he was the type of person that was so organized because training was his thing. He told me one day when I walked in too, Joe, look at all the chairs. And I wasn't sure why I was looking at all the chairs, you know, but he was the type of person that was so organized that all the chairs, they were the up down chairs or whatever, the ones that go up and down, they all had to be at the exact same level. Before the class started, and all the paper had to be in the same order with the name tags in the same place. And that's the type of person he was somebody that was organized, but he wanted your class, your training class, your efforts that you were putting in to train his dispatchers to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And he did that for me. He did it for Leslie, and he did it for Doug.
Yeah.
And we're going to miss.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm going to take a page from Doug's book before we get too emotional that we can't speak anymore, which is coming up quick. Leave a legacy. You know, you don't know how those interactions are going to impact people. And sometimes it's just a passing wave or a hello or a pat on the back. But Mike's legacy is going to be one that's going to be hard to replace. He was such a big presence and clearly made such an impact on all of us. And he's definitely going to be missed.
Yeah, I think that legacy is perfect. I mean, I think he really is going to leave a great legacy. So
yeah, he did. And Mike, we're definitely going to miss you. From everybody at We Speak Dispatch, when your center is going through one of these, make sure that you're there for them, like Doug talked about, and Leslie. You know, pick up the little things and stop worrying about those so much, and start being there for each other, because you never know when it'll be the final 10-10 or the final last call on that radio. So a shout out to Mike Becker. Mike, we're going to miss you. Thanks for everything you've done. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.